Hey, Justin. With you being only a second-year player and this big game coming up this weekend, do you feed off of that? Do you get more excited because of the opportunity, and then especially playing in front of basically the whole country?
I think with every game we're really excited. It's always a great opportunity to play our type of football, and we've had our ups and downs this year, but we've had a good week of practice so far, a good week of preparation. That's what's important heading into Sunday.
When you look at Gus Bradley's defensive scheme, what has impressed you about the way that the Raiders have kind of played these last four games?
Yeah, they're really well coached, and that's the thing. And they've got some really athletic players on that side of the ball, and they make plays. They fly around and they play together on defense, and you can see that. And it doesn't take long to turn the tape on and tell that. And they've done a good job of stopping offenses, of getting pressure on the quarterback, and they've been able to do that all year.
Thanks, Justin.
Claudia.
Hey, Justin, the Raiders defense is obviously playing very well right now. What would it take to beat them? Do you need to pass 250 yards or more? Have you set a record, a mark?
I think it's team football, and if I throw for 50 yards and we win, I think that's the goal. And it doesn't really matter how many yards I throw for, as long as we get the win. And we're doing everything we can to have a good week of practice of preparation, so that we have any chance on Sunday. Because they've got an incredible front seven. They do a great job of rushing the passer, so we have to be sharp all week.
And the last time you played the Raiders, your running game picked up 168 yards and Eckler had 117. How much do you like having the running game carry such a big load?
I think it's great to have both, the ground game and the air game in football, and to have that as our offense and be able to get the ball to those guys that make plays. I think it adds to our offense. And to have Austin Eckler, Justin Jackson, J.K., Larry, all those guys in the backfield, they've done an incredible job all year.
Thank you, Justin. Good luck.
Hopper.
Hey, Justin. Going up against Gus's scheme, do you tap into those training camp practices from last year at all, heading into the games against the scheme and against Gus?
We actually did the first time we played them. We kind of took a look back, but now with a full year of film, we're able to watch kind of those games and maybe flip through them a couple times. But this time it's just kind of watching their defense now.
And just talking to Joe yesterday, just asking him about how your decision making has improved over the course of the season. He mentioned just all the offenses that you've had to learn, all the different offensive coordinators you've had, just having to focus on those schemes as opposed to really focusing on what defenses are trying to do against you. I'm just curious for your thoughts on that. Just as the season has progressed, how much more have you been able to focus on sort of what opposing defenses are trying to do to you in the NFL, and how much has that helped you sort of develop as a decision maker this season?
Yeah, I think experience is the best teacher, and having a full year of football of playing quarterback in the system, it's definitely helped a lot. And unfortunately, we've made our mistakes, we've turned the ball over, we've missed big plays, but watching the film and getting better and being comfortable in that offense, and that's all you can ask for is your best effort. And now that we're in a position of, we feel pretty comfortable with our offense. Guys know what they're doing. We know the ins and outs of it. So, it's all about progress, and I think we've done a good job of that so far.
And then Brandon has mentioned to us several times this season that he tries to get into the QB room as much as he can. Just what have you gained from those times with Brandon when he's been able to get into the QB room and sit with you guys and talk ball?
A lot about defense, and I think you'd kind of expect that with a defensive coordinator coach like that. But he comes in, he talks defense, and he tells us why certain guys are playing with certain leverage, where the linebackers have to line up in their gaps to defend those, and kind of like the pass rushes, the blitzes that teams bring. So he's got a great insight on that, and he talks a lot about that.
How often does he make it into the QB room, would you estimate?
At least once a week. He's always in there, and he'll come in and just hang out for a little bit whenever we have extra time.
Thank you.
Cam.
Hey, Justin, do you recall the last win and get in game you played in?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
I said, do you recall the last win and get in game that you've played in?
Maybe the Pac-12 championship to get into the Rose Bowl, but other than that, I don't know.
Okay. What tips or tricks do you implement during the week to maintain your poise prior to primetime matchups, which you've proven to be very successful in?
Just to treat every practice like a game, every rep like a game rep. And I think experience and going through and seeing those reps and seeing a live defense and making sure that you're adamant about your focus and your effort, so that when you head into Sunday, you feel comfortable that you've already been there, you've already seen it all, so that you're ready for anything.
And is there you played in Las Vegas last year in their new stadium? Obviously, it was without fans. But what do you recall about that stadium? Is there anything special about that stadium that you found just in your walkthrough and your preparation for their game last season?
I thought it was a great stadium, great field, and I feel like guys had a great grip on the grass, and there are no complaints there.
Thanks, Justin.
Couple more for you. Jeff Miller.
Justin, that game last year, both teams have changed coaches. As Cam mentioned, there are no fans there. Is there anything you can take from that game and apply it Sunday, or is it not? Can you not even do that?
That's kind of the tough part about the NFL is you're watching that game and you realize that the defensive coordinator isn't there anymore. They're playing a new defense. We've got a new offense. There's not much film that you can watch from our offense and apply it to this year. But I think a lot of the footwork and mechanics and things like that are things you can pick up from that game. But other than scheme and that type of deal, there's not too much to look at.
And then just the fact that you guys won there dramatically and all that, does that give you any sense of, I don't know, comfort, or just do you feel any more confident just after that game last year? Or again, is it just two different teams? Can't even do that? No,
that is a good question. I think those moments, those games, you're able to learn from, and close games like that, and those 2-minute situations, overtime games of learning and going through it and learning how to close games out at the end. And that's something that we've had to learn this year, and something that we did a poor job of last year. And so whenever we're able to do that and try to put a game away like that, I think it does build confidence for your team.
Okay, thank you.
Last one, Joe Reedy.
Justin, in terms of a game with the stakes involved and everything, is this the biggest game you've played in since the Rose Bowl 2 years ago?
We feel like every game's a big game. It does come down to this one, and it is super important for us, but every opportunity to go out there and play football is big for us, and I think we're treating it like that.
And then Brandon also mentioned he tries to come into the QB room on Fridays to when you're still there and kind of have conversations and talk. Just what have those Friday conversations been like, end of the week?
Yeah, it's just
coming at the end of the week.
Talking about football, talking about life outside of football. He's one of those guys that I really look up to, and I really enjoy playing for. And anytime you get to talk with him, you got to pick up what he's saying, because it's probably something pretty valuable. And I've really cherished our time together so far. And just anytime you get to meet with him, it's a cool experience.
Okay. And last thing for me, just wanted to, you can't run from the camera on this one. Give congratulations. The Pro Football Writers local chapter has named you the team MVP for this year. And luckily for you, there is no slime involved in this case.
Well, I appreciate that. That probably means the most to me. And, that is a huge honor, and I really appreciate that.